Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to the Octavia Fallon Public Library's Talking Tuesday. I know you usually see me for a Creative Corner as well as our self-care series, but today we are doing Talking Tuesday, and we are celebrating National Women's History Month for the entire month of March. So I thought I'd talk about some of the influential women in my life. I have my mom, my aunts, my grandparents, as well as celebrity inspirations. But I thought I'd talk about something that's personal and talk about my grandmother on my father's side of the family. So my paternal grandmothers, not grandfather. So my grandmother and grandfather had 9 kids total. And out of those 9 kids, some of them had kids, some of them didn't. So in total, there are 18 grandchildren. And then out of those grandchildren, some of them had kids too as well. And we currently have 5 great-grandchildren. So we have 3 generations worth of individuals on my father's side of the family. And before the pandemic hits in 2020, my grandmother would host Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners at her house, which is located on the Navajo Reservation. And so all of us would go and have a big meal and get to see one another because we do live in different areas across New Mexico, Arizona, and Colorado. And my grandmother was born in the 1930s. And the reason why I say the 1930s is because vital records during this time were a bit iffy because of boarding schools as well as conversion therapies, religious conversions. So her exact birth year is up for debates, but majority of my family thinks that she was born in 1935, which makes her approximately 86 years old. My grandmother does almost everything around her house. My father helps her out around the house too as well, but she cooks 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She cleans up her house too as well. She chops wood almost every single day because she has a wood burning stove instead of central heating and cooling. Before I was born, she also would herd sheep. She doesn't have sheep no more, so she doesn't have to really worry about that. She also has livestock, so she tends to cattle almost on a daily basis. She also is into crafts. She mainly does silversmith work. Pre-pandemic, she would work on miniature silver pottery. But because the pandemic hit, she had to switch her craft, and she makes rosaries for an organization. And then on top of that, she would also sew her own clothing because she would go around the Navajo reservation to attend song and dances that many people would put on. She sings and she would dance, and like I said, she makes her own clothing, and she would put on her silver bracelets, her rings, her necklaces, puts her hair in a bun, and get herself all situated for these dances that would last almost all weekend. And then on top of that, she does weaving. So she makes her own looms and everything. She buys the wool if she doesn't make it herself, and then she weaves rugs. I actually don't know how many rugs she's weaved over this past year, but I call my grandmother every single day and ask her about how her day is, how she's doing. She is strong, she's independent, she's resilient. She's very active in her lifestyle, and I hope when I get to her age that I am just as active as she is. So therefore, my grandmother on my father's side of the family is one of the biggest influences in my life because she's just an amazing person overall. She does a multitude of activities throughout the day, and she doesn't look her age too as well. With that, My name is Josh. I usually do other things for the library, but today I'm doing a Talking Tuesday for National Women's History Month. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to give us a call. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to all of our social media accounts. We have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and much more. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.